What's up, Colt? It's the one, the only JT Ripper, and I'm here with
Todd of Thunder.
And we're back with the final 10.
The last part. We finally made it, buddy.
We finally made it. Part 4, the Electric Horror.
10 to 1 of
10
the
to 1.
best horror movies of 2023.
The best. Only the best of the best. This is the creme de the creme. The cream always rises to the top, yet does. Dig it!
Yep, and we're pretty excited about this episode because some of the movies we're going to talk about today might have been on your list. Some of the movies might have been on my list. It just this is how we ranked them, and this is our opinions, our separate opinions of what we think is the top 10 best of 2023. And let's waste no time and get right into it. And my number 10 is a movie that you mentioned in the last podcast about part 3. And mine is The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
The Demeter.
And we talked about this movie, and we talked about it being a really good kind of middle-of-the-road Dracula film about the part of the film where he's being taken from Transylvania and moved to wherever he is, maybe London. I can't remember what it is, but you know the deal. It's actually a long chapter in the book, and every movie that has portrayed this has been a short scene, kind of one of those filter scenes. Well, this movie is the entire journey across the ocean to get to their destination where Dracula's on board. And we talked a little bit about how he's not your typical slick hair, charming Dracula that we come to know. This is the beast. This is the one that is the straight up demon, the wings, the whole 9 yards. Kind of looks like, he kind of looks like a fucking devil, like a black devil.
A little bit, a lot of influence I noticed was from Nosferatu. With
the facial
ears, the facial features, the fangs.
Yeah.
The creepiness.
They really drive home the fact that he's weak in the beginning, and the more that he kills and the more blood that he drains, the more powerful he gets.
Right.
And the ending of the film is one of those deals where pretty much everybody gets destroyed except for this one guy who was kind of the main character of the film.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Now he's almost left as kind of like our new Van Helsing type of deal, where he
could be, yeah,
where he's hunting the perpetrator, the Nosferatu, the vampire, the Dracula type of deal. And I think that this series, if they do continue it, which I hope they do, because it's pretty awesome. I like it. I think this can turn into a really good series, a really good new take, a new hero being introduced. Because let's face it, it's rare to have a black Van Helsing.
Yeah, which I'm down for.
I'm down for too, because he was besides the captain, I would say that his performance was like pure genius. I mean, he played exactly what he was supposed to do, and everybody else on the crew kind of looked at him as like, oh, you're a black person, you don't know what you're talking about, because this is in the 1800s, right? So
right.
Black people
right.
are looked at as uneducated and blah, blah, blah. And the whole time he's proving them wrong. He ends up being probably the smartest guy on the entire crew.
Oh, 100%.
So I think that this has the potential of being a really good horror drama series where can have some really good twists and turns. So that's why I put it at number 10. So what's your number 10, buddy?
I believe you've already talked about this one. It was a lot lower on your list, or higher, however you want to say it. Five Nights at Freddy's at number 10.
Yep, I had it at just outside the top 20.
Yeah, I like this movie, obviously, a lot more than you did. I was not a fan of the video game series. If anybody is listening to this for the first time, or listening to us for the first time, so to speak, it was a video game series. Excuse me. Damn. Fucking seltzer waters, man. That was a pretty simple concept. You are in a pizzeria and you have to keep your eyes on the camera so the animatronics that are coming alive don't kill you. Anyway, deep dive. It's a whole backstory, and they made a whole fucking movie of this, starring the awesome Matthew Lillard as pretty much your main guy, your main killer. I forgot the name of the main guy that plays in the movie, but is a fantastic movie. It did a child concept very well. It was done practical effects. Loved it. Great story. I thought the runtime could have been a little bit shorter, but I was very emotionally involved with the characters, the brother and sister combination, the whole dream thing where he was trying to figure out what happened to his brother because he was so obsessed with it. Just one of those movies that kind of blindsided me. I didn't think that I was going to love this movie. This movie had every aspect to fucking fall flat on its face. Like, it could have been the worst movie of last year. It could have been worse than Pooh, Blood, and Honey, but it wasn't. Thank God. It was rated. What was it rated? PG? 13?
I think it was PG-13.
PG-13. I really feel like just some of the negatives in it. It could have had a little bit more gore, just a little bit, and the jump scares. It needs more jump scares because that's what everybody's expecting with Five Nights at Freddy's. Other than that, we got a fantastic story. I can't wait for more of these movies, diving more into the backstory, more into the lore of it. It was a fantastic movie. I can't wait for it. So what is your number 9?
My number 9 is probably one of my favorite original slashers that came out last year, which was Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Yeah, Thanksgiving was a pretty straightforward, awesome slasher film that reminded me of like those early to mid 2000 slasher films where you didn't have to think too much. You know what I mean? You didn't have to think. You could let your hair down and just have a really good time with this film. And, you know, it was a guy in the Pilgrim's outfit because this place, it takes place in Plymouth, Massachusetts, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's every year they have like this Pilgrim parade type of deal. So somebody walking around in a Pilgrim outfit is not out of place, which makes it perfect.
The John Carver mask.
Yeah, it's perfect. And like I said, you can turn off your brain with this movie and just have a good time with it. And you don't have to think, and you don't have to worry about it trying to be all artsy fartsy and doing all this other stuff. And because of that, it's a fun movie. It's a great movie. And it's the type of slasher movie that I wish that we could get more often instead of trying to instead of trying to beat us over the head with some incoherent story. Just give us something like this. There's a killer. Here's the cast. Here's the reason. Boom, go for it. And then at the end of the movie, it turns into one of those whodunit type of deals, and you can guess along of who done it and all that. It's just a fun movie, and I got that at number 9.
Well, my number 9, I have something you talked about not too long ago, is Cocaine Bear.
Okay, sweet.
It's not really much I can add to what you said about Cocaine Bear if you listen to our number 3 episode. But this was a surprise also. If you notice, like, a lot of my top 10 are like surprises. Like, holy shit, this shouldn't be as good as it is, but it is. Cocaine Bear legitimately had me laughing. Like, it was... It had that early 2000s humor that you really don't get in comedies. Plus, the gore was very unexpected. I didn't expect really any gore in this movie. I liked how the bear was done. It was done pretty well, to be CGI. Obviously, you can't get a real fucking bear to do the things that they needed to do in this movie. The cast was fucking great. The writing was awesome. I hope they don't do a Cocaine Bear 2. I just don't want to see that. Like, this is just a one-off, and it's perfect.
It's no point.
It's no point. Leave it be. If you haven't seen Cocaine Bear, what are you waiting for? I think it's on Peacock or Paramount. One of those two. Go watch Cocaine Bear. It's a damn good comedy, horror with wholesome elements in it, and it'll leave you on a good note. I really don't like that in horror movies, but with this one, I liked it though. What is your number 8?
My number 8 is a movie you talked about earlier, I think on the last podcast, and that is The Pope's Exorcist.
The Pope's Exorcist.
Yeah, everything you said was great. I thought Russell Crowe really showed why he was the leading man he has been all these years. I mean, he took control of this role, and he went with it, and to me, he created a very memorable and very likable character, which is rare when you are talking about priests in films. Don't want to ruffle any feathers, but a lot of them are boring and fucking just, you can't relate to them.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe's character, on the other hand, yes, he works for the Pope, obviously, but he also has a sense of humanity about him. He has a sense of, hey, this is kind of guy, I could see him at the bar. He might not be getting pissed drunk like everybody else, but he'll be at the bar talking, that type of deal. And he's more of a realist, you know what I mean? He's not overly like, bless my child. He's more like, okay, can we investigate this and see if there's other things causing this other than some supernatural shit? He's one of those guys that recognizes that maybe sometimes people overreact to things, and he's more like an investigator type of deal. Like, he can debunk, like, no, you don't need an exorcist. What you need is to take your pills right.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
exactly.
saying? So I appreciated the humanity that he brought, and I appreciated the fact that on a dime that he was the star of this movie, but other people shined as well in the film. And in the end, he could be a hero that you could get behind. He could be a franchise hero in these types of movies. Like, oh, here comes the next Pope movie with Russell Crowe. I could see that.
Right.
And I'm all for it if they are made and written as well as this one. So The Pope's Exorcist is number 8 on my list.
Nice. Number 8 on mine. You talked about it. Megan. It was you've talked about Megan, right?
Nope.
No. You haven't talked about Megan. Whoops. I thought you did. No, you said that it's coming. You mentioned something about it, and you said you'd talk about it later. Anyway, Megan. Yet again, another surprise is a movie that came out in early January. Normally, those movies kind of suck ass, but this one didn't. This one was the concept of pretty much the 2019 Child's Play remake we got, flipped it on its head, changed genders, and did it right. That's what I appreciated out of this movie. It took I ain't gonna say original concept, but it took the concept from the Child's Play remake and made it better.